Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 3.2. We are going to use linear equations in slope-intercept form. So this is the exact same way we started 3.1, seeing this exact same slide. And just remember that your m is your slope, and that b is your y-intercept. All right, so today is going to look a little bit different because we're writing the equation slope-intercept form, giving a slope and an ordered pair. So yesterday we got the slope and the y-intercept. Today we're getting the slope and an ordered pair. So we are going to, this is our m, and then here we have an x and a y. So slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We are going to plug in for, this is like our only time that we're ever going to plug in for the y and the x. So we have a y of -5, and then 3, and then our x is -2 plus b. This is going to help us solve for our y-intercept. And then once we have our y-intercept, we're going to go back to writing it as y equals mx plus b with our slope and intercept in. So I'm just going to simplify this equation. I'm going to take 3 times -2, which gives me a -6. And now I'm going to add 6 to both sides. And so I get my y-intercept is 1. So my solution, my equation I should say, is 3x plus 1. Notice your y-intercept is not just this y-coordinate, because that's just an ordered pair that's on the line, not where it intersects the y. All right, so let's go ahead and I want you to try this one on your own, and then we will talk about it together. So pause the video here so you can give it your own try. If you're sitting there and you're letting it play, this is where you start if you were stumped. All right, so I worked that out and found that my b, my y-intercept is 1/3. So my equation is y equals -1/3 x plus 1/3. And don't worry about it being a funky y-intercept, that it's a fraction. That's okay. We're not graphing this, so it really doesn't matter to us what it looks like. All right, if we look at our next example here, you have it in a graph. And this one, I know it's kind of hard to see the grid lines on your note sheet, so take a look at, make sure you're looking here. So the nice thing is that we can see our y-intercept in this picture. It's 1. Slope, it may not be as easy to see, so you could just go ahead and do your slope formula. And so I'm going to do that out because it doesn't take that long for us to do. x1, y1, x2, y2. So -1 minus 3 over 3 minus -3. So that pops into plus a positive. We get -4 over 6. So that's going to reduce down to -2/3. Now, if you counted your slope, you should also have a -2/3. So y equals -2/3 x plus 1 for our equation. So it's really nice when we get the graph because we can just find that stuff. Now, sometimes our graph, like in the problem 2, our y-intercept was 1/3. Our graph might not have a nice whole number for our y-intercept. So just keep in mind, you might have to do something like this where you're given 2 points. We did this on the back side of our 3.1 notes, but this time, neither one of them are going to be our y-intercept. So we start with our slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to pop the 2 points in to our slope formula. So 18 minus 15 over -10 minus -5. So minus the negative turns to plus a positive. All right, 3 over -5. All right, now you're going to pick one of the 2 ordered pairs. It does not matter which ordered pair you pick. I'm going to pick our first one just because generally I default to the first problem. So on the front side, we had to take our slope and our point and we plugged it into slope-intercept form. So we're going to do the same thing here. 15 was my y equals -3/5. Now my x was a -5 plus b. And we're going to solve for our b term. Negative 3/5 times negative 5. You're going to want to grab your calculator and type that in, or we can do this out by hand. Think of this as an over 1. So you're going to multiply the top numbers. Negative 3 times negative 5 gives us a negative 15, and 5 times 1 gives us 3. So negative 15 divided by 3, my head and my mouth are head in different orders. 5. Negative 15 divided by 5 is a negative 3. All right, and we're going to just add, that turns into a positive. Negative times a negative is a positive. All right, so we're going to subtract 3 to both sides, and we find that our y-intercept is b. So our equation, y equals negative 3/5 x plus 12. Now, if you would have picked negative 10, 18, that's okay. I'm going to just do that out really quick for you. So 18 goes in for y, negative 3/5 times negative 10 plus b. All right, 18 equals, the tops would turn into 30. 30 divided by 5 gives me 6. And I'm going to minus 6 over, and I get 12. So see how I found out that my y-intercept was the same? So it does not matter which of the 2 points you pick. All right, so slope formula, you have it, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, find the slope, 8 minus 7, and then 8 minus 4. And so we end up with a slope of 1/4. Again, it does not matter which point you pick. I'm going to default to the first one. I often do. So 7 equals 1/4 times 4 plus b. Well, 1/4 times 4. So what's 1/4 of 4? Well, that's 1. So now I subtract 1 over to each side, and I get that b equals 6. So I can write my equation, y equals my slope, 1/4 x, plus my y-intercept of 6. Now this next two problems are just like what we were doing above, except for it's giving it to you in function notation. Remember, we dabbled at that at the end of the last section. This just is another way of giving you 2 ordered pairs. 6, 13, and then down here we'd get a negative 3, 5, and we'd have a negative 7, negative 3. Now they're asking you to find equations for f of x. That's the same thing as y. So I want you to go ahead and pause and try out your first one, and then come back and we'll talk about it, and then I'll have you pause and try your second one again. Okay, check in. How did your slope go? I got a slope of 3. Did we get the same? All right, pick one of your 2 points. Doesn't matter which one, and plug it into slope-intercept form. All right, how'd it go when you plugged in to find your point? I found my y-intercept to be negative 5. I used the first point. You will also get negative 5 if you use the second point. So my equation looks like y equals 3x minus 5. All right, go ahead and pause and do the same on this next one. Same exact stuff there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, did you get a slope of 2? If not, take a look and compare yours and mine and see if you get the same thing. All right, again, I just picked my first point and I used that and my slope into slope-intercept form to solve for the b. So now I have y equals my slope of 2x plus 11. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Hope it went well.